note, a new note on in a free state. Alas, uh, it probably is the last, because even if I was very attracted by the first story in this work, which is made out of three stories. I found that on the internet, puzzled by the continuation. Um, the second part is already not my cup of tea, and I didn't feel like skipping through the book and going to the third part to see if it's good again. Perhaps I should. It happened in the past that I abandoned a novel only to find that it was so great after all. I'm thinking The Death of the Heart. I was reading without attention and interest for a quarter of the book, or thereabouts, only to find that this is really thrilling and exciting. Then I went back, started again, and realized what masterpiece I was nearly missing. But here, it's also the issue of why waste so much time on something that in the end may give no satisfaction at all. When there are so many great books out there, I can hardly wait to go back to the ones I love, like The Death of the Heart, for instance. I'm meeting for the third time with The Clockwork Orange, which is exceptional. The Droogs, the Forellas, and all those funny, weird things that Druski, it was impossible to figure out what they mean, but amazing. So why stick on this second story, which is not really interesting for this reader? But let me say briefly that the first one was really good. Actually, that didn't help the next installment, because once this set a standard of humor, let's say adventure and unexpected and a good plot, and I'm moving on to the second, where I don't get it. It's my failure, but there it is. That's a note, a personal note on books read, and sometimes read a little and abandoned, like this one. So in the first part, it was, I mentioned in the first note, great to follow this Indian servant who's going to America with his master, who's assigned to a post in Washington. He takes the servant who faced the perspective of going in humiliation back to his native village without anything, but on the other hand, he's paying him enough money per month for him to get a sandwich, a coffee, and I don't know, a chocolate. So peanuts, so to say. And this man has dreadful in a way experience, but we can also laugh at it. A dreadful experience in the airplane on the way to the US, as he has all his luggage inside the plane. He uses, I don't know, some sort of chewing material. I don't think it has much in common with the tobacco they chew in parts of the US and other places in the world. But still, when the flight attendant comes around, he eats something which is supposed to spit, but sees no place to do that. And when they come with drinks, he has some champagne. The champagne with that some substance which should not be in his stomach, should only be chewed and thrown, as I said, have a disastrous effect on our hero, and he vomits all over the luggage, and the crew is horrified, and eventually he arrives in the US. He stays mostly in his room, but he meets and has a sort of a strange affair with an African American that, alas, in his ignorance, because we also get attached to this man but see his serious failures, like with the caste system, with the untouchables and so on in India, he has the approach of a racist towards this African woman, who indeed terrifies him to some extent. He feels also dominated by her, but he keeps addressing her in a, I guess, derogatory term. But interesting first part. Alas, I didn't go for the second.